Thank you very much, Speaker, and to the Premier. Last June, the Norwich BIA put up pride banners only to have dozens removed, vandalized and then burned. This week, Norwich Town Council voted to ban pride flags from municipal property and then rejected to proclaim Pride Month, which is coming up in June. Since the Premier has not spoken up against the hateful rise of homophobia and transphobia in Ontario, I'd like to ask him today, will he break his silence and commit to working with the Ontario NDP to pass our bill, keeping 2SLGBT+ communities safe as quickly as possible?
Response. I recognize the Government House Leader.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Look, the member knows full well that the private member bill process in this place has a schedule in which it works under, and members on the House will give it due consideration. I know that the Minister of Multiculturalism, though, has been working very, very closely to ensure that we have a very inclusive Ontario. It is something that I'm sure that members on all sides of the House would agree on, that we have to continue to do that work. I know the minister also has been reaching out and ensuring that there are continuous consultations. But, Madam Speaker, it is also the work that is being done by the Solicitor General and the Attorney General to ensure that we have communities that are safe for all people. That is what this government has been doing right from the beginning. Now, Madam Speaker, I apologize for that, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, later on today, members from the NDP will have the opportunity to put their money where their mouth is when it comes to law and order in the province of Ontario. They spoke against a bill that the Solicitor General brought forward last night, but I suspect, Madam Speaker, despite every speech being against that bill, that they will do the right thing today and they will vote in favour of our police and community and law and order in the province of Ontario.
Speaker, thank you. I'm sure that the community is going to be very disappointed to know that this government is not going to take action to protect them, especially with the rise of homophobia and hate right across the province. This week, an angry mob also turned up at the York Catholic District School Board, where they disrupted a meeting and to intimidate the trustees to vote against Pride Month and raising the flag for their community. This is not the first time that the police were called in to contain homophobic violence. If the Premier is unwilling to adopt our anti-2SLGBT strategy hate crime plan, what is the Premier's plan to actually keep students safe? What is he going to do while they attend publicly funded schools?
Back to the Government House Leader for response.
I think the Minister of Education has actually been very clear on that, Madam Speaker, as has the Minister of Multiculturalism and Citizenship, who has been doing a tremendous amount of work, not only with that community, but with all communities in this province who feel that they may need some extra protections, Madam Speaker. But at the same time, we're hearing the member right now just talk about how important it is to keep the people of the province of Ontario safe, whether it is that community, whether it's other communities across the province of Ontario, whether it is students. Now, yesterday, the Solicitor General and the Attorney General of this province deposited a bill in this House that was up for debate for 10 hours, and speaker after speaker after speaker on the NDP side spoke against the provisions in that bill, Madam Speaker. They spoke against the provisions in that bill. But after question period today, the member and her colleagues will have the opportunity to do exactly what that member asked for. Vote to keep our communities safe. Now, despite their opposition, I hope they will do the right thing and have reflected and will vote in favour of that bill in 21 minutes.
The questions.